What's good, guys? Welcome to this YouTube video. If you've gone through a couple other videos, welcome back. If you are new here and you've just clicked, welcome. I would love to connect. If you want to reach out on Instagram, we can have a chat or just follow each other. That's great. Essentially, what I go over on this channel is just sharing what I'm learning through scaling our growth operating business. So I've got a business that I'm building with my girlfriend, and I am big in the marketing space. She's really good at sales. So we decided to combine our skill sets and we partner with online info-based businesses and just take control of their marketing and sales processes to help them focus on the delivery and scale. So I'm just sharing what I'm learning through this process and hoping to help some people as I go, right? So what I'm going over in this video is just sharing how you can separate yourself from the competition, regardless of how saturated your niche is, because we can all feel how noisy the world is. It is extremely noisy and almost overwhelming. And in marketing, there's this concept called red ocean, which is where a market is saturated, competitive, everyone's fighting for the same clients. But then there's also a blue ocean, and this is where you become a market of one and separate yourself from everyone else. And if you look at these like long-term business owners like Tony Robbins, Gary Vee, Alex Hormozi, even like Iman Gaji, these guys, and ask yourself, how do these guys stay relevant through so many different eras and so many different seasons of online business or just business in general? Now, they do this through understanding this one thing that I'm going to go over in just a second. But before I go over it, I want to show you this photo here because this is where I got qualified as a neuro-linguistic programmer. This is NLP. And essentially what NLP is, this is a definition that I found. But the way that I describe NLP it is how we interpret the world around us and the filter that we use to interpret the world around us and the language that we use to interpret the world around us, which determines how we think, feel, and behave. That is how I would describe NLP. It's the language patterns and thinking processes that we use to describe the world around us, which influences the actions that we take. So as you can just hear from that definition, that heavily relates to marketing and how marketing to people's language patterns is a key way to allow you to stand out from the crowd. And I'm going to go into how you can do this in just a second. Here's just some client wins that we've got just recently with a couple of new clients. James, we helped go from 0 to 60K within 40 days. Claire from 0 to 12K in 30 days. I don't have like Stripe screenshots or anything because I'm not flexing my income. It's the income that we help our clients get. But you can go watch their testimonials on my Instagram. I think like a key thing to highlight here as well is the amount of followers that they have. Like they don't have big personal brands. Claire actually started with 0 followers. So that is how influential this approach that I'm going to go over in just a second is. Okay. So essentially, if you have a business, you have a business because you're solving a problem for a specific person. You have a target market that you are helping. Within that target market, there are people. And of course, people have specific thinking patterns. They have pains, fears, frustrations, limiting beliefs, challenges, but they also have hopes, dreams, goals, desires, ambitions, the experiences they want to have, the legacy they want to leave. And they have this mental composition and this current situation that they are in. And that determines how they orient themselves in the world, right? So if you understand how these people are thinking, your target market is thinking, then you can align your marketing message with those thinking patterns. And this is a true pattern interrupt. This is how you separate yourself. I'm going to go into how to do this. So this is how you separate yourself. You have to understand who it is that you are speaking to and what their pains are and what their desires are. Now, a key way to do this, firstly, if you have an existing like client base and you've recorded sales calls, they are a gold mine. If you are not leveraging your sales calls to do market research and understand who you are attracting and how they are thinking and what's holding them back from taking action, what stopped them in the past, what are the current challenges that they're experiencing, what are their limiting beliefs, what are the goals that they want, then you are losing clients and you are losing sales. That is an absolute gold mine. And you can chuck those sales calls. If you if you don't know what to record on, there's a really good platform called Fathom. This is what I record all my sales calls on. This is a really good platform just to record sales calls on. Anyway, then you can get the transcripts of those sales calls and upload them to either ChatGPT or something like Perplexity. Okay, so Perplexity is like a research style AI large language model that you can use, and it like draws information from live sources on the internet. So for example, sources like Reddit, Quora, YouTube, Google, these spaces online, these platforms online, where your clients, your ideal clients or your target market is sharing their thoughts. This is the perfect space to look for how your target market is thinking. Another really good space is like comments in Instagram and TikTok, because people just vent, or YouTube comments. This is what you're wanting to do. You're wanting to get unfiltered thinking patterns of your target market. And a really good way to do this is through using something called Perplexity to draw from these type of sources where people are just sharing their thoughts loosely, okay? YouTube titles, Google searches, obviously Reddit, like threads or whatever it's called. Now, what you can do, I've put this prompt here together, which I use for our clients, to just copy and paste into Perplexity. So if you want me to send you through this document, just just DM me on Instagram, market research sheet or something like that, and I can flick that through to you. But all you have to do here is just add in your audience, and it'll give you a really deep understanding of like the surface level challenges, but also the hidden emotional pains of your target market, drawing information from these type of sources, as you can see here: YouTube titles, Reddit questions, thought leaders, Google searches, everything, as well as their desires. Okay, this is just as important, because people are either driven, they're motivated, or they take action for one of two reasons: either to get away from a painful situation or to move towards a desired situation. So if we can understand both, then we can come at both angles to put them in the position to take action, okay? So that's why you have to do market research. It is key. If you don't do market research because you think it's boring, then you're not going to be making money, which is boring. So you need to be doing market research. And you've got this sheet here to be able to do that. So just message me on Instagram. Now, this is a key analogy that I walk my clients through to help them understand. I don't know where I got this from. It might have been from something. I don't know if this is a common analogy or not. But most people with their marketing, posting content, ads, VSLs, all these marketing materials, they are acting like a machine gun. They are just spraying and praying and just posting content and just hoping that something hits, right? And, the reason why they do that, it's not out of bad intent. They have a good intention behind it. They just don't want to miss out on a certain target market, right? They don't want to niche down because they think that if they talk to someone too specifically, then they're going to miss out on sales. I would counter that and say, it's almost a disservice to want to try and help everyone, because then you are spreading yourself across all these different people's problems and you don't understand the nuances. So it is important to niche down and talk the language of a specific person. And that way you can be like a sniper and you can have these potent bullets in the chamber, and every piece of content that you post is just shooting the bullet at the heartstring of the ideal client and speaking their language. That is a true pattern interrupt. That is how you stand out from the crowd. So you want to be a sniper. You don't want to be a machine gun where you're spraying and praying blindfolded like this, just hoping that something hits. It's not going to work, especially like you can spread out in the long run, and like if you exhaust a specific niche or it makes sense to just bounce over to someone else, do that. But at the start, if you're talking to everyone, you're talking to no one, okay? So these days, and I'm sure you probably do this as well, you follow content creators and people who help people build personal brands, and they're giving you all these different tools and tactics and everything, right? And they want you to increase the reach or the engagement. That's what people are going for. But it is not about reach or engagement. It is about resonance. Resonance is how you stand out. It is aligning your marketing message with the thinking patterns of your dream clients. That is how you stand out from the crowd. So this is why market research is so key, because if you can understand your target market better than your competition, then you have an edge, because you can talk and speak to those nuances and to the current situations and to the pains and to the desires of your target market better than your competition. And that's why you have an edge. And business is all about having an edge. So it's really important to do this. And you follow these like online, content creators and people who are saying have better hooks, or these certain content strategies, or posting every day or twice a day, or use ManyChat and lead magnets, or give away free value, or show the desired outcome that they can get through big claims. And you probably try this, but the reason why this doesn't work is because of the exact same reason why everything else, most other things don't work, and it's because it's still too noisy. So people are trying to gain edges through doing this, but the problem is that everyone is trying to gain an edge through doing these type of things, which is just bringing the noise with it. Everyone is just doing the same thing still. So it doesn't matter about these surface level tools or tactics, because that is not how you separate yourself. How you separate yourself is resonating with your audience and standing out from the crowd in that way. So yeah, it's too noisy. And if you just look at how your audience and even you are scrolling, right? You're scrolling on social media, and most of the time you're not even conscious. You're unconsciously scrolling. You're just scrolling, right? And if you're constantly seeing these big claims and these hooks and fancy editing, you're just numb to it. Everyone's just numb to it because everyone is doing it. And it's not even that you're subconsciously scrolling, it's unconsciously scrolling. You're not even conscious. You're kind of just like scrolling and just waiting for something to hit, right? And the things that hit are the pattern interrupts. And the pattern interrupts, more often than not, are things that go against the grain of what everyone else is doing. And if everyone else is doing these things, then you're just going to be numb to that. So you need to have new pattern interrupts. And the way that you have a new pattern interrupt is by speaking the language of your ideal client so specifically that they can't help but pay attention. That is a true pattern interrupt. That is how you stand out from the crowd. So yeah, I just wanted to break this down and share like the importance of marketing message and having a clear marketing angle and message and language that speaks to your ideal client in their language. You have to speak to it in their language. You can't speak to it from your language or from like a marketing standpoint. You have to speak to it in their language. And that is how you stand out. So yeah, thought I would just break that down. If you got value from this, just subscribe or comment, share what you got from it. If you're wanting this market research sheet, I've got a longer one with more in it. Just send me the DM that I mentioned earlier on Instagram, market research sheet or wherever it was. And yeah, look forward to connecting. But if you want to follow along, I'm just going to share value like this as I learn and help more clients grow. So yeah, hit that subscribe button and yeah, look forward to connecting in the future. Thanks.